My name is Zachary Griffin. I'm a third-year film major at George Mason University, and I just received the Arts by George scholarship for the film discipline. I heard about my scholarship when I randomly, at the end of the summer, sometime late August, decided to check my GMU email. I looked and I saw an email from Dr. Lant, and she said, "I'm still waiting to hear from you about the scholarship, Zach." And I just said to myself, "What scholarship?" Like, because Dr. Lant sends out lots of emails regarding scholarships and potential crew things and all sorts of stuff, and I usually just skim through and don't really pay attention to it. But this one had my name in it, so I thought I should look back through my emails, and it's like a few weeks before she had gotten in contact with me about possibly doing this scholarship thing for Arts by George, and she said, "You're a candidate, and you were recommended for it." And I said, "Sure, yeah, you know what? I'll give you all my information, and we can try and apply for this scholarship." And 2 days later, it wasn't even 48 hours when I heard back from her, and I had gotten it. So that's how I heard about it.
And Film and Video Studies Program, Zachary Griffin.
I was really, really happy, but at the same time, it didn't exactly hit me all at once. It took me at least a few days to take it to register, if that makes sense. I didn't understand really what had happened because it all just happened so fast. I'd applied for it, and then I heard back from her almost immediately that I had gotten it. So it wasn't like I had high hopes for getting it, but then I got it, and that was really cool. So I was excited, and then I told my parents, and they were really thrilled, and it was pretty cool though. I enjoyed hearing about it, and it was fun. I'm pretty sure I've always wanted to major in film somewhere. That was one of the things I looked at whenever I was looking at schools. I've always been interested in film. Since I was probably, I think in the 4th grade, I've wanted to do stuff with film. So I started making these movies, and then after learning about it in high school and things like that, I started looking at colleges that had it because I love it and I wanted to do it for a career. I'd have to say the most interesting part of filmmaking is writing and directing. I think on a storytelling level, you get to write whatever comes to mind, whatever ideas come to mind, and I love writing ideas that I have down and making them, I guess, executable, and then directing is the actual executing of the story. So it's like bringing that story to life through the writing and the directing. A project that I've worked on that I'm most proud of would probably have to be this script I wrote my senior year of high school called Realization, and it's about this character who is hired for a website, and the website is they put on, well, they produce movies and they release them via the internet, and he's hired to make the first one that's going to be the big premiere and the launch of this new website. And it's basically about his process of making the film within 2 weeks. And it's a feature-length film, and that's what the entire film is about. Actually, I'm proud of it because I wrote it, and then my friend who goes to Towson University and is in the film program there decided he wanted to use it for his senior project, and he went ahead and made it. And he had me star in it, which I'm not too happy with. I'm not an actor by any means, but it was fun to get to work on it and see that come to life.
What are you doing here? I locked up at midnight.
You're drenched.
It's been raining for the past 2 days.
Why'd you lock up if I was still in here?
I had no idea you were still in here.
Well, for the past 24 hours now, I've lived here.
Oh. Not enough time to get that forwarding address taken care of.
Not quite.
Go home, Adam. It's almost 4 in the morning.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice.
Counting down already?
Only 12 days, 19 hours, 45 minutes, and I think 10 seconds until I hand that final video over to you. My favorite Directors, well, I have more than just one, but probably my favorite two are Ridley Scott and Christopher Nolan. And I enjoy Ridley Scott because he's very involved as a director, and his projects are just so epic, I guess you'd say. Like, the directing impresses me, his directing style, and I've watched numerous documentaries about how he's directed, and it's just very impressive how he's so involved with his actors and how he's so involved with the crew, and he just knows what he's doing. He's a very talented director. Christopher Nolan, probably because he writes and directs. I enjoy all of his movies, every single one that I've seen, it makes my top 10 because, you know, his original stories, you know, that he writes a lot, have a lot of twists and turns, and they keep you guessing, and I enjoy movies like that. V for Vendetta is one of my favorite movies. I like the storyline, how it's all complex, crammed together. Inception, which just came out, is a great film. These films probably have just basic elements in common that I enjoy in a movie, which anything that has a great storyline, and then also action, not to make the movie but to support the storyline itself, an original storyline, and also some sort of ending that's going to leave me, or make me leave the theater still thinking. I have a lot of role models and strong influences in my life. Mostly, I'd say my parents and my sisters. My family is very important to me. And like I said, when I was younger, my sisters were involved in like little home video, like filmmaking type things, but it was obviously very amateur. And so that was probably one of the first things that made me want to get into film, was that they wouldn't let me help them. So I wanted to do it on my own. And then my parents always encouraged me, so they said, you know, just go for, you know, whatever you want to do, go for it. Hopefully doing still some sort of writing, directing, video work. I hope in one of the major cities where there's a lot of filmmaking. New York, LA, DC, I heard, is the third biggest market for film. I have some pretty high goals for myself as far as writing. Hopefully I can get a script either sold or at least read in Hollywood, which is probably impossible these days, but it would be awesome if I could do something like that. When I'm relaxing, chances are I'm sitting on the couch in front of my massive projector screen. It's probably one of the most comfortable couches I've ever sat on in my entire life, and it's my place to hang out and chill while watching a movie or something like that. GMU-TV is an awesome internship. All the people that work there are fantastic, and they all help you out. They all realize, you know, he's an intern and he needs to learn these things before, you know, we get him to do these things. But I'm learning a lot because people will show me things once, or I'll have to figure things out for myself within the studio setting. And it's a lot of fun because, you know, you're getting to work with setting up lights for a show, or you're getting to work with, you know, setting up the sound, or even in the control room at sometimes during live-to-tape film shoots and things like that. Any advice for future students in the film studies program at Mason would probably have to be getting involved in anything that you can. A lot of the big criticisms of the film program here I've heard from other students are that I guess it's not really hands-on, but that's not been my experience at all. My experience is that it's hands-on, but you have to go get it, you have to go find it, and you have to want to do things all the time. Whereas a lot of people expect teachers and professors to come after you, where you can't do that. You have to go get involved yourself. Happy birthday! So if you do that, I think you'll have more hands-on experience, and you'll go and you'll be able to learn more through the film program.